Well, good morning from Two Happy Children Farm. I'm out in the field pea cover crop field, or part of the field, and I'm doing some checks with my planter to see if what I think is going to work is going to work. So if we get back here behind the planter, you can see there's some places where the cover is pretty heavy and the planter is needing to cut through it. So if we look at this spot here, you can see everything is cut just fine between my row cleaner and my opening disc. And we're getting into the soil there, and you see some of it piling up a little over here. This is kind of a wet spot in the field. Then you look behind the planter, you see where the row units have gone. Not ideal, but I think we're making it without any plugging issues. These are my new razer teeth on the row cleaners. So I've only run this about a couple hundred feet. If you look behind the unit here, you can see the seed firmer is deep in the trench. I have this set really deep. We're about targeting 2.5 inches, so it's a pretty deep setting on my planter. And then behind that we have the closing disc here, or the closing wheels from Thompson, and they have a nice design. They do ball up a little, but they kind of knock themselves off a little bit later. So what I'm thinking right now is it's going to take a little longer to dry out the top in a pea cover crop. So these acres might get planted last compared to the no-till area here. We're dry and ready to go, but the pea area here is really wet. So the pea area may need another week to dry out, and we're continuing to get a lot of sun and wind, so that should be fine. Again, looking from the front, you can see what these guys need to cut through, and so far I think it's going to be a success. Over here we looked at the trench to see what's really going on, and I threw some seed in this box, and he's at the right depth. So I think that's all that really matters, is did you get your depth right, and he's packed in there. So he's a good 2 inches deep, and we got a nice trench. So I think lessons learned right now so far is the top is not dried yet for this to go plant through, because we've had rain and the mulch is covering it really well. So that might be one disadvantage, is you need to wait a little longer to go planting. Here's some bare soil we planted into. I'm just setting this up to see how it works. So as a comparison, that's what things look like in the bare soil. And it is just a little too wet to plant even for them. So we're gonna wait. We've got a good cold front coming through tonight, and it's gonna be cold for the next week. So we're fine on planting anyways. But it's definitely not gumming up the gauge wheels at all, which is good. It's just going to be that sidewall compaction problem and the slabbing. So if I had to plant today, I could with this setup. But since I don't have to plant today, I can wait and get that top dry, and it works so much better when we're riding into dry soil. So far so good, and we'll give you an update as we get into planting. This is just setting it up. Thank you.